Hello, this is Ladislav Arben from Dynocortex. According to Global Anti-Scam Alliance 2024 Global State of Scams report, scams and fraud have caused over $1 trillion in global financial losses in the past year alone. Furthermore, the annual financial losses from these crimes have continued to rise year over year. Businesses face significant challenges in combating this threat, as they often operate with limited financial resources and personnel dedicated to fraud prevention. Compounding the issue, regulators worldwide are imposing increasingly strict compliance requirements. Companies must implement these procedures to avoid fines, legal consequences, and reputational damage. The rapid advancement of artificial intelligence complexity to this landscape. While AI equips fraudsters with sophisticated tools, such as bypassing voice recognition systems, it also empowers organizations to detect and mitigate fraudulent activity more effectively. Success in this evolving environment hinges on strategically combining AI-driven solutions with human expertise and adopting agile methodologies to adapt to emerging threats. Many businesses still depend on traditional fraud detection systems, which include tools like rules engines, cluster detection, graph analysis, and client self-reporting. However, these methods face significant limitations. The rules engines are inflexible and struggle to model complex, variable fraud patterns. They also generate excessive alerts, and this leads to so-called alert fatigue. This means that analysts are overwhelmed by a large number of alerts and missing the most of potential fraud cases. Then we have cluster detection tools. They are effective for identifying groups of similar fraud incidents during investigation, but they lack real-time capabilities and cannot detect evolving fraud patterns or account for time-based sequences. Then graph analysis. It requires graph database experts to interpret knowledge graph's content. It often relies on stale data in the knowledge graph and requires complex queries. This makes real-time alerts impractical. It is valuable for investigating anomalies, but it is resource-intensive and costly due to its dependence on specialized personnel. And then we have a self-reporting by clients. That is often delayed or incomplete, and this reduces its reliability as a primary detection method. Additionally, businesses struggle to fully leverage data resources for fraud detection due to legacy systems that are difficult to integrate, So due to slow and expensive development cycles for fraud detection applications. Another reason is poor data quality from upstream systems that limit actionable insights. Upstream data sources and knowledge graph updates. Effective fraud detection in cases like account takeover fraud or social engineering requires not just the latest data, but a complete historical record and consistent timeline of changes. For example, CRM systems must track not only clients' current phone number, address, and email, but also full history of these changes over time. Key upstream data sources include CRM data, client communication transcripts, website and app clickstream data, and mobile application logs, network event records, client device details, and behavioral patterns. When we take a concrete example of upstream data sources, we have CRM, which includes changes of addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses, also communication of the clients via email and messaging. The other important source of information is transcription of phone calls. Then we have a clickstream mobile and web is a detailed log of how clients navigate through the website. It includes pages they visited, time spent on each page, and how they arrive on the page. Then we have a network and client device events. This include information about clients' devices, such as hardware and software configuration, IP addresses and network configuration, time zones, network activity patterns of clients, and device registration process. Then we have a product and services. For financial institutions, it is selling and buying products and valuation of clients' portfolio. It also includes changes in any settings and preferences related to products or services. We also have here bank mandate information, and this is client's bank account associated with his or her account. And then we have a behavioral data, and behavioral data is collected from web and mobile applications. It includes mouse movements, touch information, and keyboard events. Important considerations for knowledge graph in fraud detection. So we have a historical data integration. The knowledge graph must ingest both historical data, this means client's entire change history, also real-time updates from upstream systems. Every event must include a timestamp to enable replaying past events. This is vital for detecting suspicious patterns, such as clients suddenly changing their mobile device, postal address, and attempting to transfer funds to a newly registered bank account. Then we have a data consistency management. The knowledge graph must reconcile inconsistencies in upstream data. That means conflicting device IDs or timestamps, which are common in dynamic environments where legacy systems are updated or new systems are integrated. Then we have a time discrepancies. They are solved by replaying historical updates to reconstruct accurate timelines. Then we have a real-time synchronization, which is continuous integration with upstream systems, ensuring that knowledge graph reflects the most current and contextually rich data for fraud analysis. And then we go to Dynocortex agent functionality. So the first one is natural language driven automation. It enables subject matter experts, potentially with no coding or GraphDB expertise, to design and maintain graph queries using plain language. It automatically translates requirements into precise queries, handling schema, relationship complexities. It uses natural language to define reusable validation patterns, such as find customer ID based on context in the security node. Human-AI collaboration is achieved by generating explainable graph patterns from historical fraud cases and behavior anomaly. It also streamlines investigations with compiled suspected fraud evidence. It adapts to client-specific norms. This means it must distinguish anomalies from typical behavior. And then we have agile deployment pipeline. The production system safety is assured by running and testing all queries on mirrored reproduction environment. Only tested and approved queries are deployed to production. Deployed production queries can run periodically to detect the suspicious activity in real time. They also generate prioritized alerts, gather evidence, and support investigations. And third, we have unified fraud detection lifecycle that is achieved by queries of various types. We have data quality control queries that monitor and correct upstream data issues, for example, missing CRM entries or delayed upstream data. They create placeholder nodes such as customer or invoice and update them once data is received. Canonicalization queries standardize naming and structure conventions across the knowledge graph. Ad hoc investigation queries identify fraud patterns, inconsistencies, or suspicious cases. Data preprocessing queries convert raw data into fraud detection-ready formats. And alert-generating queries trigger alerts when predefined fraud conditions are met. Technical and security advantages are achieved by using cost-effective self-hosted LLM. And that's all for today.